Hi, I'm Shreya and this is Decoding Code. In this video, we will be learning about switch statements, and actually, switch statements aren't very different from if statements and else if statements, and they even have a default like an else statement. But I think that switch statements are pretty fundamental for learning Java, and they can help you kind of understand what the computer goes through when you're coding. And so that's why we'll be learning about it today. And the way I'll be teaching you guys about switch statements is that I will kind of give you a problem and then we'll brainstorm about it, and then I'll show you guys the solution to my problem using a switch statement. And so yeah, let's just get right into it. In one of my previous videos, I created a calculator, but this calculator could only add, and that is my problem here. I want to give my user the choice of being able to either add, subtract, multiply, or divide like a regular calculator. So that's where I want to put in the switch statement to give my users a choice of if they want to do a certain type of function, like whether it's addition, subtraction, So that is my problem, and we'll be using the same type of format that's here because I already did it for addition. I just need to add on the other things. So let's just brainstorm for a second. One way we could do this is by just putting in a bunch of if statements and else if statements. But that would be kind of excessive because we would ask the user, like, if the user said addition, then do this, else if, do this, and a bunch of other things, I guess, and it wouldn't be as efficient as we could be. So let's introduce the switch statement. Switches allow you to give a different scenario, well, infinite amount of scenarios for one kind of variable. So depending on what that variable is, you can tell the computer to do different things. Let's just go through my code for a second. So I duplicate scanner, which we already know how to do, and then I'm asking the user what function they would like the calculator to do. And then after asking them what they want to do, I'm getting the input from the user. And so this input called function is what I'll be using in my switch statement. And that's what all of the scenarios are going to depend on. So if they say I want to add, then we ask them the first number, they give us the first number. We ask them the second number, they give us the second number. And then we convert them to integers, and then we add them, and then we print out the statement, and then break. So that would be the end of one kind of round. And then if we want to execute it again, then we can do a different one. And then basically the same format I do for subtract and multiply. And I'll just do divide with you guys. So if I add a new case and if they say divide, I cannot spell today, sorry. So if they say divide, I want to basically do the same thing here except with division. So if I just copy this entire thing and then put it over here, we have this, but you can see there are a bunch of errors, and that makes sense because there are a bunch of integers that we're calling again and a bunch of things that just really don't make sense. So the first number that you would like to divide, and then we have to make new variables. So this string would be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then H, and then we would do GG, I guess, because that's what I'm doing here. Let's keep modifying this. So my integer would be divide, and I'll just put div, and then we want to divide GG by HH, which are the two integers that my user gave to me. So, and here we want to convert G and H into GG and HH. Then we want to print G and then divided by H equals div. And then we break here. The default means that if they put in something that's different from those 4 functions that I've put in here, then I'll put a default and I'm just saying, sorry, this calculator doesn't do the function that you're asking, and then I just break. And so here you can see that I actually ran this default, and I just put JFK because that's not a function that I'm putting here. And then I say, sorry, the calculator doesn't do this function. And so if it's anything other than these 4 things, then it'll just say, sorry. So you can put infinite amount of cases here. You could do a whole lot of things with this. And that's why switches are a thing. It makes sense, and it doesn't make you do a bunch of if statements and else if statements if you're just doing one variable. So that is my solution to my problem. And switch statements are actually pretty simple. It's just taking a certain variable and then making different cases for that variable in different scenarios. So if the variable is one thing, then something might happen, but if it's another thing, then a different thing might happen. And then if it's none of those things, then something else will happen. You guys, it's actually very fun to test out your own stuff that you coded, because then you can be like, hey, I actually did this, and this is something that I made. And so I'll be just doing multiplication. Wow, it got really dark. Okay, anyways, I'll just be doing multiplication. Let's do some numbers that I actually don't know. So 45 and 90. 4,050, which is cool. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you understood switches, because it kind of gives you an understanding of how your computer goes through your code and decides what to execute based on what you've told it. And if you did enjoy this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more content. Also, comment down below any questions or feedback that you guys might have for me, and I will see you guys again next week. Bye!